Right, meow. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? And we're good. We're getting ready to go. In terms of Oh man, in terms of contracts, we have 0 days back, March 23rd on SPX, and I'll be looking anywhere in the vicinity of, oh man, big selling action. Somewhere in the vicinity of, I don't know, man. Uh, where's ES at the moment? 44.77 to 44.80, so probably 44.90s, 44.50s. 44.90, 44.50 to start the day off. But big selling action going into the bell. Interesting. Interesting. Yep, the bookmap deal. Remember, he's in Italy, so he's a little bit behind on terms of our time. But the guy, so well, I'll have all that stuff posted today, and I'll start pinging everybody. I'll add it. I'll ping the whole server and say, hey, bookmap deal is live. Here's the links. Go off and conquer, and then we'll start doing all this together. Good stuff. All right, we've got 7 seconds till the bell is open. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding ding. All right, start the day off. What have we got? Oh, man, my whole watch list just flipped red-a-roni. Red-a-roni. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Where are we going to go? All right. Yes, we are definitely using bookmap. In fact, what does a bookmap look right now? Big liquidity, 44.90. Green candle to start the day off. A lot of liquidity down here at 44.75. The book is starting to build around this 44.70 level from 44.68 up to 44.75. Big selling action coming in on the NASDAQ. So, yeah. Little top wick on the immediate green candle. Significant buying volume came in, which is normal for the market open, but it's getting top wicked. And we are just kind of testing this 44.77 level to see where we are going to go. What does that say? I just missed that. What did that say? Big red on the NASDAQ. And coming on down. And let's see where this is doing. All right, I'm just getting things situated here. We've got some green. NASDAQ is getting bottom wicked. We have a lot of congestion right here between 44.67, 44.70, and 44.90. Significant congestion, more to the lower side than to the upside. So yesterday you closed your PCS, then almost immediately opened a CCS. Do you have a thesis on the downside for the rest of the week? I wouldn't necessarily... Can't hear anything. Yep. I wouldn't say downside, Chris, but I will say limited upside. In fact, I kind of talked a little bit about this in the tier room with a couple of members. If we were to rock it to 46.30, it would cause so much damage, and the vacuum below would be incredible. And I would take one of the bigger short positions I've taken in the past 3 years if we got to 46.30. I would go huge position size, and I would post it for you all. Not saying we won't get there, but I'm saying if we do, it would cause so much damage. There is so much structure between here and 46.30 that if we were to blow through that, by the way, VIX huge downside here, huge pop off there. If we were to do that, it would cause a lot of destruction. So I put my 46.30s on for yesterday. I'm very happy with that decision because in the event that we do downturn, I think we could give some of it back from the past week. I know everyone's still euphorically bullish and, bear market's over, but I'm not. So, and that's just me being someone who likes to take in the entire environment. I don't like to put on a bear hat or a bull hat. I like to play the market for what it is and see where we go from there. So, hope that answers your question. What's up? What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? So... All right, NASDAQ, new lows, SPY 44685. Boom. All right, I am doing a scalp short right here on ES. Just entered. That's again once a scalp. If I can see that we're going to downtrend, what I'm going to do is take a SPX put. So I'm going to scalp ES until I can get identified trend. If we are going to start selling off, we'll throw down some SPX puts. And if not, then I'll just kind of hang out until the 10:05. But that's the thesis for right now. We've got a little bit of basing 4470. I'd love to see that taken out. So we will see. What's up, Brenda? How you doing? Buzz, Bunny? Am I able to give any advice for new options learners? Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. What you got? Give me some questions. How new you been doing this? 4477, and I got a break even. I'm about to put a break even on it right before we breach that level. So what I'm doing, I'm watching the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is going to lead us. Here's the deal. You have to realize the environment underneath. I know this market's been roasting, but everything underneath is eroding. Eroding. Remember that movie with Jim Carrey? Yeah, so everything is eroded under there, and we've got this spiking yields. We've got the bond market is getting destroyed, and yet NASDAQ has just turned on the afterburners and rocketed. So watch the NASDAQ to see if it can tip its hand, if they're going to give a little bit back, or if it's going to go back up and retest the JPM, because that's kind of what I'm looking at here. I'm not getting the really smoke show that I'm looking for to at least the opening downside. And wow, man, it almost hit it. It almost hit it. And I'm going to go ahead and take that, I think. Let's see, bring that open. Modify order. Let's see. All right, there's S2. And NASDAQ is re-eating that red candle. See, what I want to do, once I kind of let this extend, I'll set a lower stop to ensure profitability. I'll flip over to my individual brokerage. I'll open up my SPX contracts, and I'll see if I can get some momentum with the SPX. Someone said Tesla's flying. What's Tesla doing? I wouldn't say they're flying. I mean, they're up. I mean, yeah, they're that's pretty strong. Relative, yeah. So big green candle in the air, but let's see how that thing start to flip. That craziness with NVIDIA. Anyone catch that NVIDIA move yesterday? That was nuts. That thing just freaking tanked out of nowhere and then promptly rebounded. Yeah, I'm not liking this. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Bam. All right. Break even stop hit on the ES. I'm not liking that. So, in and out, in and out. Do I play supply and demand zones or just price and volume? Price and volume. I guess you can call it supply and demand. I kind of bring in a bunch of different aspects into my cross check. So you played the NVIDIA drop in scalp longs and SPX. Nice. Yeah, I saw the keynotes. I didn't actually see what was said though. I don't follow the NVIDIA all that closely. VIX gap down to 2365. Which I'm surprised everything on there they said was pretty cool. A lot of neat stuff. Interesting tweet. I saw someone post an interesting tweet today. They said on green days since early February, the S&P has not had a green day that's less than 1%, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And of course, NASDAQ putting up 2% days like it's nothing is ridiculous too. So ridiculousness abounds. Ridiculousness abounds. All right, little downside here still. Big red candle on the NASDAQ. Big red candle on the NASDAQ. Yep, Tesla's just a massive gamma squeeze. You're absolutely right. When you do trade ES, do you do spreads of naked calls and puts? And I do everything. I do spreads, I do long options, and I do futures. All depends on the circumstances. Man, I might. So here's the deal. Regardless of my thesis of SPX not going to 4630, if I can get some decent downside here, I will take that 0DT. In fact, I might start taking off now. right, a little bit of red still. All right, let's see if I got 25 cents. I'm going to put a limit order in for 25 cents on those PCSs and see if I can get them. If I'll be greedy for a little bit, and if not, I'll go ahead and throw in the 30. Hear that, Chris? All right, red candles. There's S3, first test of S3. Let's take a look at the book map. Considerable volume, 4467. And bringing up the puts. Man, there's a considerable amount of orders right below our position, anywhere from 44.57 moving all the way up to 44.68. There's not much above us. We got a little bit there at 80, a little bit at 90, 4,500. That big level at 45.15 has disappeared and have now shifted it upwards to 45.30. So if we do breach uppers, now they are building a position 44.90 that's getting bigger and bigger by the minute. Big green candle on the NASDAQ here. S3, was that down to the penny? I think we hit S3, didn't we? Didn't we? All right. Did I start using Bookmap or have you in the past? I just started using it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, the deal is finalized. I just have to get the details from him, and I'll post them today, I promise. And it'll be posted for everybody. I want to get you all that deal as soon as possible. All right, green candle off of S3. And the low there, right there, 446.13. And that thing is, oh man, almost to the penny. Almost, not quite, almost to the penny. If I do that swing put, let's take a look. Do. Probably the 44.10s. I'll keep it a 10 wide way down there, but I need to know that we're not going to smoke today. That's the thing. I don't necessarily disapprove of trading that. I disapprove of the sentiment behind it. The whole YOLO, diamond hand, GameStop nonsense is a bunch of nonsense. So, and I remember as a kid when I tried to trade in games, they'd give me like 75 cents. So I hope they do. I hope they go to zero. Tesla's blasting, man, up to over 1,000. Tesla is now 1,006. Let's take a look at the European market. They have been, man, definitely some red coming in there. So they've been off since about 6:50 Eastern time, they kind of been straight down. And now we're just kind of negotiating this S3 level. I actually put an order for 25. I didn't get it though, but I had an order in at 25. I think the lowest I saw was 30 flash. I'll post this in theta. Man, look at that red candle. Look at that red candle. Holy smokes. All right, hold on here. So we just broke that. What's that liquidity telling us? Smoked all of that 44.70. All right, still can't get that right there. Back to yesterday's open. That's right. Let's look. Man, I got so much going on. All right, so big red candle right through that. New lows on the day, taking out the pre-market lows or the little earlier swing low there right before S3. Blasted S3, and now we're coming back down to yesterday's open. So we'll see how the market wants to react to this. Yep, I'm still gonna keep on the 25 because this thing is just going straight down. All right, nice healthy red candles. Nasdaq is coming down here. We've got the book map is starting to clear out. We just ate up all that 44.70. VIX is still holding 24, so it's not. There's 23.95. The VIX ain't moving all that much. We're just kind of chopping here, so yeah, just keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's yeah, definitely. Yep, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to go ahead and take those at 30. All right, order in for 30 on the call credit spreads. I moved it up. I was at 25. I'm going to take it to 30 now. Just to I still have PTSD from Friday, so accidentally open a multiple SPY multiple. Is there any way to close an individual call puts? Yeah. So go into grouping. If you click on the position under account under positions. You could just click on the position and click select grouping, and you could readjust the grouping. That's one of the worst things about E-Trade is that right there. Bam, filled. Right there. Okay, now flip back here. 44. Looking at the 44.50 puts March 23rd. Don't want to do that. Oh, you're welcome, Rowan. You're welcome. Rowing your boat. Coming up, we got 15 minutes of the 10:05 time. We got the book map now pinched in between 44.65, 44.71. I've got the 44.50 puts and up and ready. I've closed out my CCS, and now we're just figuring out where this thing's going to go. Right below S3. SPY is now down $1.20, $1.20 at open from open, which looks a lot worse than it looks a lot worse on the charts than it is. But there we go. There we go. What? Kevin saying, where's OM? I'm right here. Can you not hear me? Can everyone hear me? Bueller? Bueller? Yeah, 44.50 is on March 23rd. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right. So we got a little S4 right there. Bam. And got some green coming right off of it. What are the Euro markets doing? Euro markets are still coming down. Euro markets are still coming down. Bank of Russia bans short selling of Russian shares. That kind of sounds like Robin Hood. All right, green off of S4. Wrong, Vlad. Yeah. All right, a little bit of green. VIX is still sideways. Do you have any VIX SRs? Obviously what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a VIX chop in this defined range, and it loves to reject right about this range. Like this is a sweet spot for the VIX to hang out in, this 23, 24 range. So I would look from right here, $24, and I would look down here at let's do 23.65. It loves to get in this range. Big green up to S3. As long as Wall Street bets is alive, I don't think GameStop and AMC craziness is going away. I mean, they are going to hang on to that forever. It's just at least for the foreseeable until those stocks are so dead you cannot pump anymore. You can't resuscitate them anymore. That's it. All right, so green candle, immediate red, right on S3. Multiple people said they can't hear me. I don't know why. I'm here, though. Have you developed any correlation between futures moving outside market hours and the ensuing price act direction in SPY? Uh, I mean, I trade a lot in the pre-market hours, and I look a lot at ES. When I'm trading that price action, I do see a correlation between how it acts when it's up and how it acts when it's down, but I don't think anyone can really guess what's going to happen in the pre-market. So many times the futures are very red in pre-market, and then we end up having a trend up day. It's happened. So it's hard to tell to use that as a sentiment this day and age. I typically look at the global market. So I think the global market condition, and then I tie it into the pre-market, and then I tie it into what the price action on the charts are telling me. All right, nice green off of S3. Okay. All right. All right, so big green right off of S4 and coming all the way back up to the S1 level. So right before, we didn't even get to the 1005 yet. There. All right, so there's Bookmap coming up. Looks like 4480 is providing some upward resistance. The futures are climbing back to that. Not quite getting there yet. We got 4476 on ES. We're kind of in no man's land there. I'll probably set a short scalp for 4480. See if I can get filled. Worked beautifully yesterday. If y'all are following that play yesterday, for about an hour, I had a short order set for 45.14, and we had one wick come up and touch it. It was like it got to like 45.14.75 or something, and filled me. And instantly, bam! I had 15 points on ES. It was beautiful, man. That's the benefit of Bookmap. It was beautiful. All right, let's move on from GameStop. GameStop's garbage. I don't want to talk about it in here. Move it to general chat. All right, and I've done the same thing now at 4480. No, obviously didn't get filled though. So jealous. Jealous of what? Am I jealous of GameStop? Negative. Not at all. I guarantee you, everybody that made money on GameStop, 90% of it's all gone. Did Vet tell you his GameStop story? No, but I've followed along there. Let's do it. Is it possible to call out the SPY levels at the same time? I can't do math that quick in my head, but I can kind of give you roughly what we're looking at. So S1 is approximately where 4480 would be. So yeah, I had a short order that's approximate S1 on SPY. I made 20K on GameStop and lost it all. Not laughing at you, but I've heard that story so many times. people get that huge win, and yeah, it's unfortunate. Same thing. I mean, same thing. If you are bad at handling money, or you don't know how to handling money, and someone walks up to you on the street and hands you $100,000 cash, just because you have 100,000 doesn't mean you suddenly know how to manage money. Just like people winning the lottery, 90% of people who win the lottery, they're in 10 years, their life is actually worse off than it was before. So, and I pulled the 90% completely out of my rear end, but something like that. You get the point. Well, what's the heat map you're looking at? That is Bookmap. I have just signed a collaboration with Bookmap. Be on the lookout for affiliate links and pricing that you cannot get in the public to bring this to you all. It's something that ties in perfectly with my system of price action analysis and volume analysis. It's a live representation of the order book that adjusts based on the price action and the fills. So it's beautiful to me. It's beautiful. That is Bookmap showing right there up to 44.80 and then down. I had an order to short set at 44.80. Obviously, we didn't get there. The highest we got there is like 44.76 and bouncing now, but things are shaking and a bacon. I've also got the 44.50 puts up and ready. I want to take a long put on this because I think there's a potential once we start moving. If we decide to sell off even a portion of this move, we could have huge payoffs on some puts. So I did close the CCS. If anyone didn't catch that, tier 2, I closed at 30 cents, and that's I played PCSs on the way up, an amazing gain, and I took a CCS at the very tip top yesterday. I got an easy 70%. That's how I like to play spreads. So obviously, I'm not really looking to get 100% expiration, especially after losing $15,000 on Friday on one single spread. I just want to take my 70% and get out, and then augment with futures and options contracts. Are you going to make a video on how to trade with Bookmap? Yes, I am. They do have a lot of awesome educational resources. However, I'm going to make one that's specific to our community and how I tie it into my system. Do you use Bookmap to create your pre-market analysis? Nothing's changed about my pre-market except now on the very back end. I'll look at Bookmap to see if it ties into any of my levels, and when I do see a correlation between my levels and the Bookmap data, all it does is it gives me the warm and fuzzies. Yes, I am using SpotGame as well. Do you know the ES-SPX formula? I could probably algebra the crap out of that one with the data I've got. Simple algebra equation. You have to find the hypotenuse of the futures and then get the tangent cosine of the A leg and then figure that out and then transfer over that to the SPX. And you're good to go. It's called the Pythagorean theorem. Look it up. Come on, people. And your math, and you said you never used math after high school. All right, so we are holding S3 right at the bottom. Y equals MS plus B. Yeah, I like it. Slope. Man, look at all that GEX data, man. All the way down to 4,400. But you still got the 4,500. 2 minutes to the 10:05. I have Global Plus. I have Global Plus for the Bookmap. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We got the 10:05 moving. Oh, man. Let's see. I got so much shaking and baking. I am going to test the quality of this mouse for sure. All the clicks that I do. What data feed? The DX feed right now. I'm using the DX feed. But right now I'm just monitoring NQ and ES. As we expand and we start talking about the swing plays we talk about, I am going to start bringing in the top 10 data, so I'm going to have to expand. But yeah. I was so close to taking a Google and Amazon call too. Man, I was so close. That would have been an epic win. But unfortunately, the rally happened a little bit sooner than I anticipated. Hate when that happens. That's the worst. All right, UK bouncing. Coming up through S3. Couple of times wins like that Facebook put would be decent. Yeah, for sure. And that's all I need. I don't need a colossal win every day. I need, like, if I could throw in once every month or so, throw in like one of those Facebook wins. Heck yeah, man. That Facebook win was beautiful. Beautiful. All right, nice red or green candles. There's 10:05. Let's take a look here. So 44.80 still there, bouncing off 44.65, and we're going up. In your opinion, what are the notable differences between Bookmap Free and Bookmap Premium? I've never used Bookmap Free, so I couldn't tell you. I'm sure there are some people in here that can give some insight on that. Are we looking at more downside on a WeVap as usual? We'll see. A little bit of liquidity came in on there, 44.80. I'm still probably going to play a scalp short off of that. And let's put that back on. I canceled that order. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on. Before I started day trading, I never realized how tightly correlated all the major markets are. Yeah, definitely. So Apple's coming back up. Man, Apple's going crazy. What is with tech? Tech is just going crazy the past week, man. You can't keep it down. Nvidia popping back up, rounding back up. VIX coming off, actually new lows on the VIX, so careful there. Careful. If you are going to take this play at 44.80, just remember it's just a quick scalp because this could be dangerous if this with the way tech is looking right now. When throwing prices out there, you should be sticking with ES. I'm doing that because of Bookmap. That's why I'm going with ES contracts. All right, so there's 44.77 coming up, and let's see if I could get a quick scalp off this 44.80 level. Man, look at this huge green off the bottom. Bam. No fill yet. Didn't get filled yet. That level just increased too. That a lot of order just came on 44.80. That's probably all of our community pounding that 44.80 short. Yep, I've got an open order at 44.80 for short ES right now. Has not filled yet. Has not filled yet. Don't know what that is, Alexander. Sorry, just had to send an extra page over to Bookmap. All right, so didn't quite get there. Didn't quite. Did I get filled while my head's down? No, I didn't get filled yet. Okay. So I thought I would want to get close there. 44, 19, 20. That's where I got. Is that you tell 25? Didn't get filled yet? Come on now. Apple strong like bull. VIX coming off hard. Hard. They're doubling down on that 4480 though. Are you still of the thought to load BN again while it's down? Yes, I am. I'm still waiting to see what the black box comes out with. If they come out where it's a structural failure on Boeing's part, I mean the stock will go to 150. So after the 730 Max, the two crashes on the 737 Max, and now the 737-800, which are an incredibly reliable aircraft, if they're having problems with that, it all depends on what's coming out here. So, but I will take if the data is good. Not only will I add stock, but I will look at some swing calls too. So yeah. Oh, good, yeah. They found the black box, good. Yeah, that action was a little too aggressive for human error. I think that was either intentional human interaction or some sort of terrorist attack. That's my thinking. Or a colossal structural failure in the tail. Either one. One of those three. That's my vote. With a new partnership with Bookmap, the future is going to be a new focus going forward. No. The futures run the market. Man, God, I didn't get filled. 75 cents away from getting filled. It all depends on the situation. No, see, the futures run the market here. So, like, I want to make sure I'm monitoring the futures action and then play the resulting XPS or XPY. So, and if you actually try to pull up the SPY index on Bookmap, it's awful. You can't read it. There's so much liquidity coming into SPY because of the nature of it. It's smaller. You can't really get much pertinent data out of it. So Tesla's still ripping. 121, up another 2.7%. I'm canceling that order. Canceled. I don't like this. Liquidity is starting to come off. We have a Nasdaq's very strong, and we have a strong green candle here, so I canceled that order. That level is gone now. All right, so strong green right to the top. Strong green right to the top. VIX coming off hard, which is that's gonna tell me we're gonna go back higher. With the VIX doing this, it's already coming off hard already. We might reclaim. We might go fill the gap if this happens. So be on the lookout. I don't like it. They just smoked that level completely, all gone. If we take out 44.85, there ain't nothing to 4,500. So with the VIX coming off, the bulls are just a little bit of a breather. They went and got some coffee, and they looks like they might go back in the driver's seat, especially with tech doing this insanity. I mean, this is just stupid. This is just stupid. Microsoft is about to go back up, so it's just tech is on board. Amazon going back up, and booyah. Green. VIX is still plummeting. NASDAQ VIX right there, and going up to test that 44.85 level. You think bears might break through today? I thought so too, man. But this tech is just way too strong. Like something like tech right now is just you can't keep it down. It's gone absolutely straight up, and it looks like there's still an appetite to buy it. So as long as that happens, we're not going to come off. I need tech to come off to stop this insanity, and before we even can consider big downside on the S&P. Oh yeah, I already feel good about it, Chris. I already feel good about it. VIX straight down, Nasdaq straight up. SPY just made a smooth move to 44777. All right, see what we got. So blasted through everything. That's gone. That was that. It's still there, but they blasted through that. Now we're coming up to 44.90, and now we're sandwiched between. But it's just going bonkers right now. Let's see if we go for a gap fill. Up here would be R3 if we did that. Can't keep this market down. Doesn't matter how high it climbs. It's always just going to keep on going. This is back to 2020, 2021 type stuff. But different conditions. That's what's weird about it. Up 68% on Apple. Well done. Nicely done. Microsoft new highs, Amazon top of the range, Google's up, Tesla's blasting, Nvidia is about to blast out the top, Facebook, all of tech carrying us along. And there's ES right there. SPY is now off R1. So the range is definitely set. Google's at the top. Man, I'll take that. I'm glad I exited those call credit spreads. So this is the biggest telling out of all this. The VIX just coming off 23 down to 22, just straight down. That tells me something. So that's why I elected to go ahead and cancel that order and let this thing play out all the way up to R1. Yeah, save yourselves some stress of trying to play the downside, because even on the 30-point downside here in the pre-market, the buyers kept hitting it. So unfortunately, until we get the big flush that probably everybody's going to miss, you can't plan on downside unless you front run it. And if you front run it, you're going to risk going into a red position. The buyers are just killing everything. It's hitting everything. Every red candle's hit. So we have to be very careful playing that. But at the same time, the market, that's what I'm saying. Like everyone's looking for downside, but it just keeps on going. It doesn't matter. We could sit here and give logic and fight it and yell and kick and scream, but the market's just going to smile at us, give us the finger as it waves on by and goes to 4,600. Yeah, Bookmap is amazing. It's incredible. So there we got right there, 4482, and then 4490 and 4488. Up we go. There's still a huge note of 4,500 on the GIX there. We are 4,500 right there. That came back on. 255 right there. So still a big node there. And now we're just kind of hanging out top of the range. Light action right here. Yeah, Jerome talks today. We didn't. Yeah, let's not forget about that. Powell is speaking today at the bank convention, and if he's at a bank convention, he's most likely going to be talking rates, yields, and inflation. So just be aware of that. Yeah. He spoke at 8 a.m. before the. And I didn't think he's awake yet. I thought that was later this afternoon. You sure? For some reason, I thought it was 12:30. Oh, it's a euro. Okay, okay. I guess it's 12:30 euro time or something. All right. So apparently he's already talked. I missed that one. Let's see. All right, interesting. They just pulled all that liquidity. 4470. Hanging out of the top. Hanging out of the top. Man, big green on the euro. And then coming up to R1. I'm so glad you closed your CCS when you did. Yep. Yeah. Very welcome. Very welcome. 50%. Good stuff. Yep. 4470, 4490. Yeah. So right in here between about S3, SR1. That's about where we are on SPY. Man, 4400 just got big. Or 4480, I'm sorry. What is the liquidity way down here? What do we got? 4470. 44.36 is huge. 44.22 is huge. Big orders down there. All right, another green upwards test. Let's take a look at XLF. They are flat. No movement at XLF, slightly red on the day, but flat price action. Let's take a look. What are the bonds doing? Bonds are still straight down, dude. This is what I was talking about. Look at that. I mean, the bonds are just absolutely just straight down since early March. But even that overall, man, it's true. Since March, the bonds have just tanked all the way down here, and still coming off again. Rates still up 2.369 after toying with 2.4. I think we got to 2.396. But it's an interesting conversation to have because if we have rallied so far in 6 days. If we do continue upwards through Friday, what happens next week? Do we just forget about all kind of market structure and just rocket to 4,800 in 2 weeks? I mean, what happens next week is a huge question mark, and it's interesting to play this stuff. And I hope you all are taking notes because uh, this stuff is silly, and you are getting a ton of market education in a very, very short amount of time. Yep, we've seen 40 points on SPY in a week. It's crazy. I don't know. I think the market's pretty much forgotten about the Russia-Ukraine already. Yeah, there is. 440, 4490 ES, which is about R1, just a touch above R1 on at SPY. And you can kind of see we are top wicking the crap out of, of R1 right there. Bam, bam, bam. So can I get it? Bam. All right, entered another trade for tier twos if in the theta channel. Which, by the way, the new tier structure, if you haven't already heard, we are shifting up the structure of the community starting April 1st. And basically, there's only going to be two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. And tier 1 will get everything. They'll get theta plays, long options, they'll get futures, they'll get discussion around how to write premium, the whole shebang. So be on the lookout for that. What do I think about Tesla and the way it's headed now? I mean, it's a meme stock. It's a meme stock. I don't trade it. So it doesn't care about fundamentals. It doesn't care about economics. It's just pure meme stock. Option chain manipulation. That's all it is. I know I see freaking people posting financial analysis about Teslas that it should be a $3,000 stock and blah blah blah. No, it's garbage. So meme stock. 100%. Yeah, yeah. Make money off of it. All right, now we're just kind of figuring out. I'm formulating a game plan here. I did take some call credit spreads just now, 0Ds, based on the data that I have presented before me. A decent level at 44.90, and then I'm going to be look to jump into some protection. That CCS is a tiny bit more aggressive than your normal play. Do you think we won't get upward continuation? I don't think we'll get to there. Now, having said that, I am well prepared to hedge the crap out of it until a certain point. Now, I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push my luck. If I see things getting silly, I will stop. I will stop it. I don't care. I'm putting that play on because it's decent credit. I see a lot of resistance between there and there, here now and here. So yeah, yeah. We've got significant resistance at 44.90. We got a ton of resistance at 40 at right here at 45.30. So we'll see. I would recommend do not take that trade unless you are well versed in hedging. Just be careful, Chris. Just be careful. What would be a stock that is more fundamentally sound, less hype? Apple. I love Apple. Huge. There's a huge market cap. They trade well. They respect a lot of the chart data. So trading Apple was one of my bread and butters. I love trading Apple back in the day. All right. So there is a ton of orders just below and above our current location here. So I think we are more set up for a range day than anything, or a choppy day than anything. Will there be commission of the credit spreads? That's not for me. Okay, that was for Tifo. Looks like it. Yeah. Yep. I've got my filters a little more tighter than yours. Like I've got filters out the lower end of data a little bit, but yeah. Faux shizzle. Call credit spread, CCS. You want it to go down, correct, or just stay sideways. Stay below my strike. That's it. Should I take profits now? Well, here's what I'm seeing. And I'll post this in the book map channel. The Fed says we need to take a more aggressive approach sooner than later. I have zero concerns that rate hikes will push us into a recession. Inflation is transitory. So we're back to this, huh? We're back to green, 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 buy up reds. I see. All right, Amazon, man, just absolute going silly. What's Tesla still doing? Still hold the top. Apple's up. There we go. SPY. Watching the VIX down here at the bottom, 2308. So there's another test. It's let's see, how many times are going to pop? 1, 2, 3, 4 times testing this 4490 level. Another rejection. The buyers are going to have to move us up, or they're going to come back down at least to the middle of the range. But it's got to do it. It's got to do it. We got Topwick City. I'm going to switch over to the 30-minute. Take a look. There's a 30-minute kind of fizzling right there with the Topwick. Let's go to the 15. Same thing. Let's go to the 5. Got some Topwicks. I'm going to hang out on the 5 for now while we're kind of chopping right here on R1, just to give me a little more trend data analysis. But right now, look at that. In fact, that just got stronger. That 4490 level just got bigger. And now we're just popping right back and forth between oh, I just thought of tomorrow's stage name. So I think big automakers will blow Tesla out of the water once they produce affordable EVs. I don't know, man. Tesla has done a very worthy job of making the name for themselves. Everyone wrote them off. They've been writing them off since day one because they are independent. They are not a big automaker. Now, if technology shifts and we kind of go and like the world really does embrace EVs and heads that way, I think you might be right. Because once big, I mean, you can't compete with big auto once they kind of get their claws into something. Uh, However, I mean, Tesla has a following, and I don't think they're going to kind of fall. And Elon is an innovator. He's amazing at innovation. He's a visionary, which you don't necessarily get that all the time. So, um, yeah. Now they do need to if Elon can tighten up a few things, increase his quality control, his delivery time, and bring down cost, I think he could be a big player. Big player. Big bottom wick candle. Booyah. And their customer service blows. Yeah. Wow. W dog. Yeah. That's pretty much it. When I think of a clever name, I'll jot it down. You're welcome, Johnny. You're welcome. So that's what I'm kind of taking a look at. I'm watching like these three are so important today. Mainly the VIX and the Nasdaq, and then of course I've get this up. The ES is pinged right in between these level, and I'm kind of watching these two levels right here. Now I will tell you, I am not looking to hold this call credit spread till expiration. I'm going to take profits on these babies quickly if I can get a good move off of them. What you know about that? All right, hey, that liquidity's gone at 44.80. So careful. If we test that level, we might test the bottom of the AM range. If I'm being a little cheeky. Just because I'm not, I got to get better at manipulating the software. I'm not going to switch over to Tesla just yet. But yeah. All right, so big level through 44.80 is gone. Now we're going to test 44.75. Question: $80,000 account, enough money to make? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, 100%. I'm gonna blow y'all's mind. What you think? What you think you could do with 30 grand next month? As long as you have realistic expectations. What you know about that? 23rd, 45.30. Hey Chris, you listening? I think I'm about to close these CCSs. I'm gonna take this red and run. What do you think? What do you think? Chris is my boy. He's my spread boy. He's been here for a while. Uh-oh, Mrs. OM's coming in the office. What's up? Delicious, delicious. Yeah, it is protein shake time. Delicious. I'm on a goal to lose 30 pounds. So, 25 pounds. In my quest to put on a lot more strength, I put on a little too much weight. So, I'm going to try to kind of trim up. It's almost swimsuit, bathing suit season. So blow my mind with a 1K account. I mean, you can still do it. You can still do it. You just got to put things in perspective. I'll tell you what though, after trading spreads the past 4 weeks, I mean my glute workouts have been on point. Y'all seen that dude on TikTok that's got a huge derriere? Like that's me. That's me. after playing these spreads the past 4 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, the white pants guy. What you know about that? What's that? All right, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. I'm gonna put a limit order in for 85 for these call credit spreads. Beautiful win right there, man. Beautiful win. You're right, Fed. Nobody wants to see me in a bathing suit. I promise you. Nobody. Or a banana hammock. I'll tell you what, though. I made some alambre a couple days ago. One of the best Mexican meals I ever made. Fantastic. I did keto for a while. I did not care for it. All right, I couldn't get filled at 85. Let me try to go 90. Alambre. I think that's how you say it. Man, it was delicious. It's bacon, chorizo, chicken, vegetables. Oh, man, it's good. All right, so right now I'm managing the CCS, seeing if I can get a little bit more. Here's 75 cents. My grandmother was Puerto Rican, so I know very basic, limited Spanish, but I cannot do the tongue rolls and like the accent and stuff. So I'm as, yeah. I don't look Puerto Rican at all, trust me. I look like Mr. Clean. All right, here's some red all the way down to S3. Beautiful, beautiful play on the CCS. Out of the CCS for 70. Nice, Bry guy. Pretty cool for a Bry guy. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. All right, I think I'm going to take 70 down. Let's see. Yep, intermittent fasting is my favorite, just because I naturally don't like eating breakfast. So intermittent fasting kind of fits right into my lifestyle. I love it. All right, I've got to order in for 70 cents on these call credit spreads. Let's see if I can get filled. Nah, can't get it. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we may get a fill here. Let's push down. All liquidity's gone below. I'm going to take 75. I don't even want to test this. Hey, by the way, someone told me, uh, someone who had bought land, I told them that I have an old house on a piece of property I just bought that I need removed, and they said call the fire department, they'll burn it down for you. Absolutely. That I called the fire chief at the local fire department. That dude, you would have thought that I handed him $1,000,000. He said, "Oh man, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to have my guys up there, man. We'll burn that baby to the ground, baby." I was like, "All right, let's do it." So coming this summer, I will post a video of me burning down a house. All right, bottom wick off of this level. such an American thing. Yeah, they do it for training. They're going to train on it. They're going to do a training on it. Yeah. So face reveal of green for the day. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Do I have a phone contact? What do you mean? Like my cell phone? I do have a phone, but it doesn't go to my cell phone. I'm not giving that out. The only person that's got that is Vet. He's the only one in here with my phone number. Not, no, she does. She does. Are you in the Discord? SWP? Platform. What you're seeing here is I have got TradingView there, and this is Bookmap. So I'm just watching this liquidity move. Everything's been pulled pretty much below. There was a big old level here. That is gone. And now we're kind of got 44.90. But yeah, the Discord. Yep. That's what I was asking. All right, so we're on VWAP, SPY. You see this little bounce off of right there, 44.80. Now we're kind of just trickling back down. I do have this zoomed in a little bit more than usual just because there's not all that much. So I wanted to get very accurate on where these orders are pinned. So we got a pinned order at 44.80. Coming back down, it's still adding, and so this level is getting stronger actually. And that's what I'm looking at. All right. Man. I guess I'm gonna claim my chicken throne. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that out. All right, ate up all that big order that was there, and looks like we're just going right back to the top of the range. Tried to get a fill at 75 cents, couldn't get on the CCS, still holding it. Let's see if I regret that. Do you use CCSs when you are bearish? You use CCSs when you're bearish, or if you just think the market's not going to go up. So yeah, I look at CCSs. I look at credit spreads as boundaries. You shall not pass, that type of thing. Hey, look at that big order just popped up. So this thing just popped up right there. Look at this. Look at that. That thing just popped up and went away. So that was a spoof, it looks like. So 44.70, 44.77 popped up, went away. All right, so we're still holding right here. Just another S1 hold right there. So just shaking and baking. Credit spread prices move like other options. You can take profits whenever. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Have you ever thought about streaming on other platforms? Yeah. In fact, I do have a Twitch account, which I had it set up, but then I had to activate 2FA on it, and then I have this software that kind of I hit go live and it just links to everything. I have to reset that up. So, but yeah, I'm on Twitch. Just yeah. Don't credit spreads only pay off in expiration? Negative. You can scalp and close them out whenever you want. The benefits of letting them expire is obviously you get the full 100% credit, and there's no commissions and all that because they expire worthless. So there's no transaction, there's no commissions, but you run the risk of holding on to them. So. Do you always play zeros? When the market calls for it, yes. When the market calls for it, yes. After looking at Bookmap for a week, have you developed an eye for catching spoof orders? Yeah, it's pretty obvious to catch. You'll see them pop up and disappear. But that's why I like to monitor it like this, because I can see them flash and then come off, flash and come off. And then the more you monitor, the more you can develop where the big orders are. Because if you see the big orders, they're not going to come off. They're not going to just jump randomly. Their big orders are there for a reason. So as long as you have a good market awareness on the entire day, you can kind of filter out the spoofs. Like right now, if I saw a massive order pop up like right there, like, oh, that's weird, and then disappear. Are you doing anything? Are you considering doing anything like a 45 DTE iron condor? Is just not. Nah, it's not my thing. What I would prefer to do is write a single long call or long put and scalp against it. That's what I would rather do. Not write. I'm sorry, buy. I would rather buy a long call and then scalp short calls against it on a downtrend. That's what I would rather do. Very rarely do I like to enter a full-blown iron condor. Leg into it, if anything. So. When does the market call for 0 DTE VIX in a certain range? Great question. Yes. So right now, the VIX being lower 20s is, in my opinion, the sweet spot for trading spreads. Upper 20s, a little too high. Over 30, no go. No go. Under 20, you could still do it. It's great, but when you get to the upper teens, the credits start diminishing, and then lower teens, it's virtually, there's no point in even playing spreads. You have to get so close to get any kind of money. It's just not worth it. So that lower 20 for me is perfect. It's the perfect sweet spot. And here we go. Nasdaq's buying back up. So, can you say that again? You would rather long a call than? All right, yeah. So someone asked me would I want to play a 45 DTE iron condor long term? And all an iron condor is a call credit spread and a put credit spread purchased or sold together, wrote together. That's not my thing. So what I would rather do is buy a long dated call, like 45 days, 2 months, and then scalp short calls against it. So basically what I'm doing is writing a short call against that long call over and over, and all I'm doing is forming and exiting a call credit spread over and over and over again. So I'm using that long call to reduce my buying power and scalp against it. What are my current plays? I've got a call credit spread open right now. I do have a 4,400 put that's blown up, but I took that a couple days ago. Now I'm looking to manage against it. That's it. I guess you could call it that. Does Apple know how to stop? We'll see. When you mention tech, do you look at XLK or Qs? I monitor both. $44.82 after dropping down to $44.75. All right, NASDAQ back to where it was, ate up all that red. SPY is going right back up to R1. Sellers do not want any part of this so far. And we're going right back to 44.90, and I should have closed my spreads. That's what I get for being greedy. Tried to get a fill at 75, and now they're right back up. Right back up. Big green candles forming. We've got an hour and a half until Euro market closes. How do you determine the DTE and long strike? It depends on the circumstance. Depends on the circumstance. I'm contemplating a short on ES on 44.89. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Just be careful because, I mean, the volume is kind of dying off here, but the price action is still very aggressive. In fact, ES is about to pop. Oh, there you go. New highs on ES. New session highs. So, I'm sorry, NASDAQ. So the market is looking incredibly strong, is going back to just buying up all the reds. NASDAQ new pop. XLF has got a little green at the bottom, and SPY is right back to the highs. So just be careful. All right, there's one rejection. Didn't quite get to the 44.89. We got the 44.86 and a half. Did I close out my CCS? Negative. Hey, be careful. Remember, that's a tier 2 thing for now, Kevy. But yes, I have not closed it out. I tried to close it at 75 cents, didn't get a fill. So I saw 75 flash a few times, but they didn't fill me. Nice, Kiro. Well done. All right, so testing right off R1 again, another top wick. Little resistance there at 44.90. When I'm playing spreads, usually if I see if the price only touches it for a second, usually I don't get a fill on spreads like that. It kind of has to go down to the bid or just kind of touch it and stay there for a bit for me to actually get filled on a spread like that. That was on E-Trade. So yeah. Oh yeah. IBKR is way better for fills for sure. Which I do have, all the PVI stuff on there. So yeah. I've been scalping futures since I started doing them. I monitor conditions using levels and PA for entry and goals only 3 to 5 MBS points. No, definitely. I think it's a fantastic idea. When you're doing futures, like I'm not looking for home runs. The only time I'll usually let a futures play run is on a pre-market play. If I see big red action in pre-market, I'll take a long, large ES play and let it run into the open. I love when I wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and I see that the futures are down like 60.6%, like 60 points. I'll put in a buy order right there. And almost all the time, I will make some good money on a upward move into open. Even if we do continue to dump that day, it always buys back up. The juice is every single time the juice is worth the squeeze. Even if I'm wrong, I'll enter a play, I'll put a stop, I'll go back to sleep. I'll wake up, ES is up 30, 40, 50 points, and I'll have cleared 80 ES points. Clicking like crazy. What do you mean? What's up, Nelly? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I get up all the time to trade, man. I'll wake up middle of the night. Like my body is pretty much now synced its clock to European Open. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times my eyes will open right at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now it's changed a little bit because it's hour ahead now. But all winter long, now my eyes would open 2 o'clock in the morning every time, which is Central Time for the European Open. It was back before daylight savings time. That mouse going 1,000%. There you go. I've got a crap ton of stuff going on. Yeah. Yep. You can use this stock for stock. You can use this software for stocks and ETFs. So you got 44.90. You've got 44.87, and now hey, they just pulled that out, and now they're putting it back on. So this 44.82, they're negotiating this level and coming back down. So we got Topwick City. Mind you, I am watching the 5-minute charts. Usually I watch the threes. I'm watching the 5-minute because the price action is still, it's a little slower, so I want to build in more trend, which is why I'm doing the 5. We do have significant Topwick right at R1, which was correlated to the pre-market highs. It's just a touch under the 44.90 on ES, and we keep rejecting, kind of trickling down. No huge buying pressure, no huge selling pressure. We're just kind of flat. Are you excited to bail on daylight saving times forever? Yes. That is one law that I've seen that I am highly on board with. I'm sure there's an argument against it somewhere that I haven't heard, but I'm all for it, man. That way we could stop. It could stop getting dark out at 4:45 in the afternoon in December. All right, so here's my thought process on the day. The fact that buyers are holding this up to the top of the range or would not have any kind of retracement at all, it's making me uneasy about these CCSs. So I'm going to give this a few more potatoes, and I'm going to look at closing. I'm up pretty good on them, about 30% right now. But I'm not going to test this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Because here's the setup. Here's what happens. If we do decide to rally to the gap fill, these will spike to $3-4 at least, and I'll be facing a 300% loss on them, which is fine. They're extrinsic, but then I have to have the clench of holding into the close when we're sitting there 15 points away from my strike on the call credit spread, which I'm not willing to do in this particular market. So the fact that the buyers are pinning this to the top and having no retracement whatsoever in a normal range day, not liking it. Not liking it at all. Since the Fed is ending asset purchases this month, do you see a good chance of them ramping up the purchase in the next 10 days? They have to. No. Big green bubbles popping up, big green volume, green candles across the board, going back up. Oil is back over 115, and the sellers want no part of this. No part of it. Which is why I am losing patience with the CCS very quick. Very quick. VIX new lows right there. So the VIX just popped. Did it get new lows already? Where'd it go? It doesn't matter. I mean, it's pretty close to it. So the VIX is trickling off. Be aware. Be aware. Do I ever do a PCS? Yeah, I did one. I did one Monday or Tuesday. Was it Monday? Monday. Hi, I'm here. Is Bookmap good for credit spreads? Yeah, it's good for any kind of price action. If you want to monitor price action and levels, it's fantastic. 44.90 just got stronger, by the way, so that's good news. Um, this thing looks like it wants to go up. When I see this kind of pinned to the top, it doesn't want to come off, this is what we've seen. Look, we had it yesterday too. You see this? We pinned to the top, didn't want to come off, and then we went a little higher. The day before that, it came up just below, and then finally trickled off. Of course, this is JPOW news, and then we just bought it right back up. So, see this? Pinned to the top, stayed, eventually squeezed higher, and then squeezed into close. So, this is that look that scares me. When you pin to the top of that range, like here, bam. When you come over here, then it goes higher. So, I'm new to this. What is that blurry thing? That is Bookmap. That is the software's Bookmap. live action of order flow. We've got an hour and 15 minutes until the European market closes. Let's see what they're up to right now. Little V right there. Zero sellers in sight. They don't want to touch this. That was a big red bubble, and it still went higher, which is not good. When you see a big spike in a seller volume and that just disregards, that tells me that the buyers are still here, eating up those orders. Yep, Bookmap is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. It's taken my feature scalping game up a notch. It's ridiculous. Chris. Big old level here at 44.90. Well, it's already picked the lane. Right now, we're just kind of on cruise control. Right now, uh, we are very much in the left lane of the interstate, and we've got the gas pedal of the autobahn. Isn't that in Germany? The autobahn. Yeah, it's very much in gas pedal down. Uh, hasn't gotten off the on ramp yet. The deal is finalized. I'm just waiting here for to send me the little affiliate packet, so I could forward you all the links. I sent him over the contract today, so. What does it generally mean for the markets when the European market closes? Movement. I'll say movement. There's always an adjustment there. But what that means is that after the European market closes, there's no more global influences on the United States. in terms of the market. Now, obviously, there's news headlines and all that other crap, but I think we haven't heard much from the Russia headlines in the past few days. I think that's pretty much, in terms of market, unless something escalates drastically, it's pretty much it for that. We did. I cannot believe, me personally, that the United States started talking about the possibility of using nuclear weapons yesterday, and nobody said a word about it. That's a little concerning to me. They came out and said they are discussing the possibility of the use of nuclear weapons. They didn't really clarify if it's them or Russia or whatever, but they said it's a possibility. So, all right, futures going higher. Here we go. If they put in a new high, man, this is not good. 44, so we're right. We're about 10 cents below highs on SPY. There we go. New highs. This thing's going. 44.90. Yep. Nasdaq is going absolutely bonkers. All the stocks on tech are starting to flip green. Apple, look at that. Microsoft going higher. Amazon, new highs. Google about to break new highs. Tesla, big green candle on Tesla. Nvidia, same as well. Just absolutely just going crazy. But look at that. 1.64. Tesla's up 5%. VIX new big red candle. We're about to pop. You know what? I'm closing this thing out. I'm not even going to test it. Screw that. That's what I get for being greedy. That is what I get for being greedy. Let's watch this order. Oh yeah, Tesla and SPY. I mean, you have to realize how big Apple is. So Apple's carrying the market. How much you want to bet S&P finishes green today? The way the VIX is looking, coming straight off. Now I'd watch this little area. If we break below here, I think we'll touch. Why am I saying touch? If we start selling off and coming off way below this line, we probably will test the JPM collar again today. So be aware. And I'm not going to be around to see it. $297 people watching. If you wouldn't mind, hit that like button for me. Thanks, Uncle Terry. Appreciate that. Helps us gain a little visibility, a little growth in the YouTube channel. Greatly appreciate that. I've never been more confused on market sentiment and direction. Yeah, if anybody can, I think if anyone can claims to confidently tell you where this thing's going, I think they'll probably try to sell you a bridge. To the left, to the right. Right here. So what's been happening is that the tech stocks are they're playing hopscotch. They're taking turns rallying. Apple's rallying. Yesterday was Tesla, and Tesla's rallying again today. Amazon is rallying. So they're just taking turns breaking out. And you can't compete with that. Once that happens, I mean, we might have another trend day ahead of us. So, yeah, we have a little bit. We got 4,500, and above that, there's nothing till they got some pins, not much, but the big dog is way up at 45.50. So way up there, 45 to 50. But we still have a lot of resistance to toy with here. We've got 44.90 breaking out again. Big green candles. That oh man, 44.90 is gone. I'm out. I'm closing this. Screw this. Putting an order in for 130. Can we get it here? 44.90 is completely gone. And this thing's just gonna bulls on parade, baby. Yep. We're about to go. Watch. We're going to test 45.15 again on SPX or on ES. Watch. We're just eating through everything. That 44.90 just got destroyed. Hey, that was injury. Put back on. And now gone again. That was a spoof right there. Y'all are crazy. Right there. VIX is straight down off of the morning highs. Right there. Coming back to pre-market. Yeah, I'm not trusting this at all. Uh, so let's go to the 30-minute. Look, look at that 60-minute candle on the Nasdaq, just straight up, straight up. VIX is straight down. Everything I'm looking at is pointing to at least fill in the morning gap. It's just straight down. How much you charge to teach when you enter an options trade? $10 right now. $10. Man, that GEX data always gets me. Always gets me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and look at closing the CCSs here so I could focus on other stuff. That's the thing. I want to clear up my mental RAM at the moment. Right here. So here's my thinking. Because we had a very significant level at 44.90, that completely went away. Uh, they liquidated it. They liquidated, not liquidated it. They liquidated it. They liquidated that level, and now we're coming back down to 44.85. So that is what kind of gives me the willies, is that they're able to take that off, and now the next thing up is 4,500, and below above that, I mean, yeah, it's another 30 points to my short strike, but man, no bueno. Quit. Look at the VIX. You see this VIX action right here, right there, all the way down to 22.81 where we were pre-market, and we're kind of just hanging out right there. Is Clove gonna squeeze? No, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, absolutely, dear blood. Now there were still orders there, but now we're just kind of trickling down after we ate up all those. So that's what I'm telling you. If we retest that, there's nothing else to stop it unless they put it back on. So the Fed's speaking now. Interesting. Interesting. It's back building. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, I place a lot on the zero DTs. Yes, not on the ones, the GEX. Will we be auto charged $25 for May if we're currently still on the tier one? Starting May 1st, you have the entire month of May though. The entire month of May. That's why I'm giving everyone an opportunity to decide whether or not they want to be a part of it. So nothing will change until May 1st for current members. You're welcome, Don. Yep, tier four will get grandfathered in. Yep. Correct. Yep. After May 1st, well, after April 1st, there's only going to be two tiers. Tier 1, Tier 2, that's it. Tier 2 will be the new Tier 4. So read those server announcements. Yep. All right, I am out of that crap. Exited the CCS, Chris. Everybody else using that CCS, I closed. All right. Wait till April 1st. April 1st. Oh, you heard those? I didn't think. I thought the microphone was cutting that stuff out. Yeah. There's a couple of fire trucks are going by. April 1st. April 1st. April 1st. You exited because you don't feel confident in position. I exited that position because I want to focus. There is some long opportunity here, and I don't want to be focused on that because above 4,500, there's nothing until 4,530, and I'm not going to sit here and and clench all the way to 4,530. It was a semi-aggressive play, more than so than usual. So I just wanted to take my 30% and move on. That's it. Uh, I would rather take my 30% off now than clench the rest of the afternoon. I want to focus on making money, not defending that position. So I missed my. I had over a 70%. I had over 50% flash. I didn't get it. It is what it is. I got 30%. So be it. Correct. Correct. Take 20. Correct. Anybody who signs up for Tier 4 this month gets grandfathered in for the pricing. You're welcome, Uncle Terry. Thanks for being here, buddy. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. If you go to the Patreon link in the description of this live stream video, you'll see it. Head down where it says Patreon, click on that, and now that's all the old tiers. So all the new tiers will sign up, and that goes as well for everyone else. If you go ahead and sign up for Patreon now, yes, you'll be charged again on April 1st, but you'll maintain the current pricing until May 1st. So that's the benefit of signing up early. So now all of this has to tie into the move to the website. Everything is driving to move to the website. So that's the whole purpose. That's one of the big purposes of consolidating, and because I want to clean up the server, I wanted to consolidate and tidy up the server, and this is going to help me do that. Got in calls right when the 450. I would put a stop on it and hold it. Me personally, put a stop where you're comfortable, and then and hold it. That's what I would do. Try not to get into it's a fine line between cutting a loss too early and holding it. It's a fine line. It's a definitely a craft that requires refining, but just try not to get in the habit of cutting losses the second they turn red, because there are times to hold on a position. It is, yeah, for sure. The thing is, if you're honest with yourself, you know when you're diamond handing and when you're just waiting for the move to be made. You know. Uh, it's just being honest with yourself and cutting out your emotions. Yeah, there you go, latitude. Absolutely. On April 1st, yep, everything's being switched to the tier 1 on April 1st. Oh, no, May 1st. I'm sorry, May 1st. Correct. Yeah, tier 4 is in perpetuity. The other tiers are not. I'm giving the other tiers April. Vet is dropping some bombs. 2/10. Okay. I understand. I understand. I understand it's not for everybody. I understand. All right, so we finally got a little red off of R1. See, here's the thing. The thing about the website that's really going to help me is I'll be able to offer uh, promotions, rallies, raffles, not rallies, raffles. Have a little more fun with the community. I can't right now. I can't do any of that. In fact, I tried to. Y'all remember I tried to do a raffle, and they smacked my hand. So yeah, freedom. Can you offer rallies so we know when to buy in? Yeah. All right. So red. The NAS flipped green, and SPY is just trying. I would keep an eye on the VIX here. In fact, I haven't put. I don't want to limit that right there. Huge wick. Yeah. But look at the VIX. Look at the VIX. This is an interesting point. If we come off, and I'll put this in the market analysis. Does anybody know how to turn that sound off? VIX comes off. We will fill the gap. Yeah, I would wait for the first. Yeah, the Fed must consider. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, they're dropping. I will bet anybody in here that on the next rate hike it'll be 50. I mean, that is why Jay Powell said what he was going to say, and I know it's nothing profound, but I mean, I'm just telling you. Yeah. Man, look at that. What was the close? So we're almost to the gap fill. So be careful if you are. I mean, on the see here, I know we're all looking to go higher, not even me myself, but the VIX is at a pivot. NASDAQ is almost gap filled. SPY is not. We got a little bit ways to go, but the NASDAQ is almost gap filled. So just be careful here. Watch, now that I close my CCSs. It might be 7.5, yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah, so VIX is a measure of volatility. Traditionally, we think about the VIX as inverse to SPY. When VIX goes down, SPY goes up the other way around. Doesn't always work out that way, but for the most part, that's pretty much how it happens. And the VIX has come off aggressively, which kind of propelled us a little up, a little higher. And now we're to the point where we are back in that chop. So unless, and when VIX came here, we started chopping sideways yesterday. So if the VIX were to start coming up again, that's where that is what's going to show me that we're going to come back down into the AM range, which is this yellow box. If we bounce in, or I'm sorry, if we sell off and start coming off hard to maybe mid 20, the mid 22s and maybe even low 22s, that is what's going to drive the momentum upwards, or at least going to notify me to, hey, it's time to go long here and go upwards. All right. Anyone have a good definition to gap fill? The difference between where we closed yesterday. Yeah, there you go. So looking at the bookmap data, 4480, considerable level, and there's nothing. There's not much above us until 4500. There ain't much for us until 4500. NASDAQ, new highs. So we're just chopping now, pin to the top, pin to the top. Yeah, NASDAQ is pretty much there on the gap fill, so let's see how that acts, if it comes on back down or not. So look at this level on the NASDAQ. I haven't checked the NASDAQ. I overlooked this. Look at that. Look at this level. Boom. Okay. All right, so ES has turned it up. A little bit of a buy volume there. Starting to increase just a touch. And NASDAQ has eaten through that order. All right, that's gone. So NASDAQ may move a touch higher here. They pulled that out. 4490 is the next level, but it's light. After that, the big order is 4500. And that's kind of what I'm just chilling out at. Did they cross on the 50? What video game is this? Yeah, that is Bookmap. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Would you open to be sharing what size port you started sharing with? Yeah. I think the first balance I ever started playing with was about 22,000, way back in the day. And then I grew it to 58, and then I grew it to 2,000. So yeah, that's a fun story. That's a fun story. I had enough money saved up, do a couple of business ventures, and just working and saving money. I put 22 grand in, uh, and the only thing I was touching was biotech stocks. It was strictly biotech because that's all I knew. I mean, I was an idiot, and I was YOLOing 100%. Literally, my first get this, the very first transaction I ever did, ever, 100% position size, every bit of it, in a single biotech stock. And then eventually I had a 100% win. Literally, I doubled my money, and then I'd lost a little bit, gained a little bit, and then I had another huge win, and actually got it up to $58,000 because I was being lucky. I was playing phase 3 trial plays. So all I would do is I would look up these new and upcoming biotech stocks that had no prior drug portfolios, and I would look for phase 3 clinical trials that were about to be approved, and I would put 100% in. And if the phase 3 clinical approved, the stock would skyrocket. I mean, biotechs are highly manipulated, and they would skyrocket. And I got lucky twice. I was like, man, I'm the big dog, baby. Get ready. In a year, I'm going to retire. Here I am, a young 20 something year old. I thought I was a big dog, and then I put it in one, and I remember, man. 5:30 in the morning, I get a notification from Seeking Alpha. Phase 3 clinical trial declined. Rejected. Yeah, that was fun. So what I had done is I took $58,000. Yeah, PDUFA dates. Yeah, ugh. Literally, I just got goosebumps reading that. Thanks, Beret. Got to be an army guy with a name like that. Beret. Yeah, so I used $58,000 and I bought a little bit over $100,000 worth of stock. Margin. I used a crap ton of margin. And I'll tell you, that is not a fun feeling. Because especially when I wake up and the stock price on the first day was down 48% on the first day. And then I held it another day. And then I was getting calls left and right from E-Trade. We're going to force close your position. You got to close it. Force close. Margin call, baby. Margin call city. I had so much red all over that. Some of those red like banners on E-Trade when you logged in. I was like, man, I just stopped looking at it. And there you go, man. When all said and done, when I had to pay back the margin, when I closed out, I had a little over $2,000 left. So from 22 to 58 to 2. Correct, Kareem, I do. Yep, entries and exits. Oh yeah, 100%. It was not something I would want to do again, but man, it was awful. It was awful. Well, that was over 10 years ago. Take 20. So what I did is I didn't trade again for about another month. I did the whole pity party like I was new. I was like, man, why me? Why did it have to happen on me? And then honestly, I'd already gotten lucky twice. So the third time I was still doing the whole why couldn't it have just gone up this one time and all that crap, or why couldn't it only gone down a little bit? But when you're that overexposed, when you have 100% account exposure, 200% of your account margin, it's unbelievably risky. Like the risk is not even calculable. Um, and that's what happens, man. And I did the whole pity party. It was awful. Woe is me. Hey, VIX came off, by the way. VIX is low. Nasdaq squeezing higher. So it took me 3 years to fully recover that and become profitable again. 3 years. Now I did have to refund accounts and that kind of stuff, but it took me 3 years. I am not someone who gives up easy. So Yeah, it was. I would not, looking back on it, I would not change a thing. By the way, green candles. All right, ES is eating up the upside. 44.90 on deck. Do I sell puts? Yes, I do. My wife keeps telling me, you know what? I just thought of it. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. After I edit this podcast, that's the next podcast episode I'm doing. All right, big green candles. I'm gonna shut up for a minute and trade. Man, I'm glad I got on that CCS. Whew. Man, look at those bubbles on ES. I think we're touching 4,500, man. I think we're gonna touch it. ES is just straight climbing now. ES is about to breach yesterday's highs. It's about to breach it. Love to see it. Nice, John. Well done. Do you have any advice for put sellers? Learn how to hedge. Don't roll. Learn how to hedge, and don't play aggressive. Don't play too close to the fire. Hey, look at that top wick. Now that was a heck of a top wick. Could this be a reversal time where they pump this, or they do a stop loss and then turn it? It didn't happen aggressively enough for me to think that, but man, that looks like it. That's a big old top wick right there, and they're about to flush this thing grid. That looks like a reversal candle. You and everybody else. I mean, stop loss candles are a real thing. Some people use it a little too much. Every aggressive candle is a stop loss candle for some, but that's not true. But stop loss candles are a real thing, and they do that to clear out the order book, so they can move in the other direction with ease. ES is the S&P 500 futures. Look at that. That's exactly what that was. That's exactly what that was. Pop it, and then they lock and drop it. Look at that. Now they're selling this off. Holy crap. Holy crap. 44.80. Man, I love this market. Should have played it. I didn't play it. God, what a freaking candle. That is a textbook stop loss candle. If you want one, that's textbook if I ever seen it. All right, watch this 44.80 level on ES. We have 23 minutes until the euro closes, and here is the current conditions of the euro. Right here. What an absolute smoke show. Look at that. What a move. All right, careful now. The conditions just shifted. Careful. Ate up all of that at 44.80. Blasting through VWAP. That's the setup that they look at. They chop it, and then out of nowhere, you see this big, crazy, egregious candle, and then they reverse it. That's a stop loss candle right there. When you chop sideways with no action, and then you bam, whah, that's exactly what they're doing. Any specific triggers for this? No, I mean, you can't time that stuff. So they just pulled 44.80. The algos do that. Algos do that. That's computer trading. We are in European Dirty 30 now, so be aware. Man, we're coming all the way back down. All the way back down. That aggravates the living crap out of me. All right, there's S2. Let's take a look at the order book. NASDAQ's coming off big time after filling that gap. VIX is spiking hard. And right there, 44.75. There's the NASDAQ there. Let's take a look what the NASDAQ do on the book orders. Big sell right there. Oof. On the NAS. How's UK doing? They're selling off. They're selling off. Man, man, smoke show right there. Oh man, look at that sell-off, man, dude. What a reversal! What a reversal! Love it, love it. I'm always looking to enter everything. I'm always looking to enter. I just missed that frickin' short, and I'm mad at myself. But usually, I'm pretty good at catching that stop loss. But that one happened a little slower than usual. Yeah, this isn't a sell-off yet. This is just market movement, and then European. European's about to close here in 15. So some markets are putting in new lows. UK is about to test those new lows. No good. Yeah, I mean, y'all could call me a long-term bear if you want, but I do think we are in for some very rough waters in the next 12 to 20 months, 12 to 18 months. I think we're in some pretty rough waters. Would you describe this market as a recession? Nope, not yet. I think we're heading there, but not yet. Yes, yep, absolutely. Nice Sasquatch, well done. Awesome. I got to mute for about 2 minutes. All right, so bottom wick, and we're just still in that chop zone. Still in that chop zone. All right, sorry, I'm back. Looking back, were there any clues on Bookmap? Negative. There was a significant level right at 4,500, or 40. I'm sorry, 44.90. We spiked right up to 44.45, and then we rejected. But there was no clues about it. It's just you can anticipate a rejection at 4,500 because that was a very large level. But yeah, they just ran the stops. That's all they were doing, just running the stops. It happens. Unfortunately, it sucks. Trust me, it sucks, but it happens. VIX is kind of chop-a-lopping right at 22, and SPY is 447.32. Oh, Vet started his stream. I'm gonna give this to the European close, and then I'm gonna hop off. Take care of a few things behind the scenes here, and get ready for the afternoon. Will your system still work in a recession? Yes. That's the great thing about this system is that I'm not really holding anything overnight, so yes, I will. It will work in a recession. We just got to learn to play it. Yep, I'm talking, Jerry. I'm talking. As a bear, do you favor CCS over PCSs? I'm a long-term bear, but I'm not playing to it. That's the difference. I do think we're going to enter a recession in the next 20 months, 12 to 18 months. But I'm not going to sit here and take puts, like long-term puts. So I like playing both. It all depends on the setup. What I like to do is called the stiff arm. If the market tanks, I like to play PCSs that are way far out. If the market rockets, I like to play call credit spreads that are way far out. The problem with that is if last week happens, where the market bounces really high, I put in a CCS that's way the heck far out, and then the market just never stops. So, Newton, can you describe your system briefly? A price action volume analysis trader that focuses on intraday trend analysis, uh, order flow, day trader, and scalping. That's it. Every now and then I'll throw in some swing trades. What do you think the close will be? Let's take a look. It's a good question. I don't think we're going to have any big moves. If I had to guess, man, 4,500. I say we'll pin to 4,500. I'll say this. I think we'll pin to 4,500 until the last 15 minutes. Last 15 minutes, anybody's guess. Thanks, Don. Appreciate that. Hardy. If in the Discord, I post in the pre-market analysis channel, I post the TradingView link for all the subscribers. All I gotta do is click on it, bam, they get all my indicators. So, all right, we got 3 minutes to the euro closes. See if we can get some movement, and then I'm gonna go get some lunch. Neighbors just got their dogs out. They're barking up a storm up there. They got new neighbors. It's fun. It's fun. All right, so S1. No movement. I'm just waiting to see what the euro does right now. Right here. Yep. They are just pinned right in between 44.85 and 44.78 right now. Man, look at these candles. Euro is looking. Ooh, big sell off. Big sell off. So Euro just dumped big time and then bought that up. Then bought that up. Right now, I don't see much of a play. I don't see an edge. We're buying right in the middle of a range. There's two pins right here at 44.85 and 44.78. The European market just dumped and then immediately bought it up. And we're just hanging out, man. Big green on the futures. Look at that. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, that is gone in 44.84. So there's nothing. Oh man, they even pulled the 4,500. They even pulled the 4,500. Interesting. Interesting. Top wick on the red candle. It depends. It depends where they put that liquidity. That's the thing. We don't really know. They did pull it. 4,500 is completely gone. Uh, it depends where they put it, and that's what I'm looking for right now. We've taken out 44.85. We took out 4,500. We do have some top wicks here. We do have this 44.79 level, but for now, we're just seeing where they put it. The Fed's daily says we are prepared to do whatever it takes to get price stability. Too early to tell if there'll be a global recession. Not for me. Ooh, top wick red. Interesting. Interesting. So we're back inside the range again. VIX is still not moving. I want to see a movement of VIX here to get really comfortable at a play. Oh, man. 44.80 is gone, and down we go. Jabroni. Go to the moon. I don't know what you're talking about. So if you are for a 4-year long-term recession, because it's exactly right. Exactly right. Now it's a different strategy if you're talking about long-term holdings. But right now, I'm just doing daily trends. I'm not taking any more swing puts until I see a valid breakdown. Because you can't play news because we've had more negative news in the past week than ever, and yet look what happened. So you can't play news on swing puts. You can't play fundamentals because look what happened the past week. All you can do is wait for the market to tell you. Late to the trend, then early to the reversal. Or late to the reversal instead of early to the trend. That's it. Whatever. I don't know. Big green candle. Once again, we're dumping, buying up. Dumping, buying up. At what point does it stop buying up? That's the key. So right now, that 44.75 is proving to be the base. Here and Snake Doctor, I'm reading here and off of YouTube. Nope, I don't do leaps. The only time I'll do a leap is not on puts. I'll do them on calls if we get low enough. I was ready to do it. If we breach 4,000, I was going big time. SPX, all the tech. I mean, I'm talking, I was going to throw down. We just didn't get there. But we will be there soon. So I'll bet anybody in here, a Buffalo nickel, that we will be under 4,000 within a couple of months. There you go. Late to the trend, then early to the reversal. There you go. All right, look at that. Big dump, and then we're buying it back up, all the way back up. I wouldn't buy at 4,000. I would probably buy big at 3,900, if that's me. It depends how big the move is, W-Dog. If you can get a big old move, then you can do pretty well on them. I mean, just think. I know. The bulls always go up and stuff like that. That's great, but we're coming out of a market that's been absolutely injected with more liquidity than you can even possibly fathom. That's why JPOW turned on the printer. Is that we injected so much liquidity in this market, and now it's about to be pulled, and then now we have supply chain issues, inflation, gas, oil, Russia. The rates are going back up. Housing is going to settle off. We have an absolute beast mode housing market that the rug is about to be rug pulled. Liquidity is going to be gone in the market. We are already so far above extended levels, it's not even funny. You can't even define it. So, what do you do? Everybody in the .com area said, oh, this is different. It's never going to come back down. When the housing market was on fire in 2008, 2007, oh, it's never going to come down. This is a new economy, baby. The real estate market is the bedrock of the United States. Never going to come down. And then they're saying it right now. Never going to stop. Up and up and up. SPY only goes up until it doesn't. Until it doesn't. Thanks. Appreciate it. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy puts. I'm not saying, whatever. I'm just saying be on the long-term lookout. The big thing, yeah, that's a huge thing, nickels and dimes, is people don't think about the intricacy, especially those who don't live in farming areas like in the South. If you live in the city, you're so far cut off from the agriculture. I know a lot of farmers. I live in the South. If I take a 5-minute drive, I'll pass hundreds of acres of corn farms and soybean farms and cotton farms. And so you're so far detached from agriculture, you don't understand. And the fertilizer prices that are absolutely skyrocketing is making the very hard agriculture market of planting corn impossible. Go talk to any corn farmer and ask him, when's the last time you've turned a profit? I guarantee you it's no less than 5 years, and it's only getting worse. So the food and corn is in everything. Everything. Ethanol augments the gas. So if you go by a gas station, it's all augmented with ethanol. That's how you keep the prices down. And then you'll see a couple of gas stations that says ethanol free, who doesn't, and their prices are 50 to 60 cents higher because they don't have ethanol. By the way, red candles. So the food shortage and the price gouging of the price of the food is going to be outrageous. So it's going to be hairy. Anyway, we're just kind of chopping between S1 and S2 here. Yeah, when that happens, Ziggy, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, that is a huge no-no here for the bang. The bond market and the stock market is completely divergent. In fact, we were talking about that earlier. The fall of the bond market in the past 3 months has been the most precipitous fall since 1990, I believe it was, surpassing that even of the 2008 housing crash. Yep. See, the forward-looking prices, because they lock in their prices a year in advance, especially their contract price. The market adjusts. So when they bring their product to market, it's based on last year's prices. So like when they bring it to market, it's going to be based on when the contracts adjust to the prices. That's going to be the problem. And it's just a little macroeconomic view. I know it's not really applicable to day trading right now, but if you want to talk about a macroeconomic view, when the agriculture prices adjust to next year's market rates, it's going to be outrageous. Not to mention fertilizer. And then when farmers stop growing corn because they're going to switch to soybeans, because soybeans uses a fraction of the fertilizer needs of corn shortage. Good luck getting your cornflakes, baby. Go down through your grocery store aisle. If you're not really well versed in food or some agriculture or what's in the products, like go down through your grocery store. Take 10 minutes and go look at anything that's in a cardboard box. Anything, cereal, any food, and go look at the ingredients. I guarantee you 100% of items have some sort of corn derivative. High fructose corn syrup on down. Soy flakes, yeah. Soy flakes, they're great. I love it. All right, anyway, red candles here, coming down to S3. Yeah, big orders came in. Nice little healthy selling action. We're about to pop the late morning lows here, coming down to S3. That's what the book map's looking like right now. I mean, cattle farmers are going to take a hit too. What do you think they feed their cattle with? How do you fatten them cows up? Corn. When would you consider swing puts? I would consider, if you're watching the YouTube, I'll tell you when I consider swing puts. I'll tell you. All right. If the chart starts looking like this again, right here, I would take swing puts. I would enter here. What I would do, I would enter a short here or swing puts, and I would put a stop loss for the same price, and I would let it ride. And I would let this thing come down. But not until I see that's what I'm saying. Late to the trend, then early to the reversal. I want to take puts somewhere on the second candle. The second day's candle, when we break the prior day's lows, that's an indication of a sell-off. And that's where I'm going to go whoop and come down. That's those little price action. That's how you play the price action. Man, look at the sell orders coming in. All right, just to be aware of this, below this is 44.36. If we get hairy. Good questions, though. I love y'all thinking about cattle. Like, that's a huge thing. Thinking about the macroeconomic view. Why do you think Michael Burry was so successful shorting the housing market? Because he was looking at it in a very extreme macro view. And when you look at it in a macro view, things don't move fast. That's why he was down like 40% of the hedge when he started shorting the CDSs. And then, of course, we all know what happened. All right, there's a bounce off S3. All right, there's a bottom wick right off of it, and now we're going up. Man, but if we break, dude, that 44.36 is a long way down. Long way down. The only time I would consider swing puts in this market is if we took out the day before his low. So if we took out 440, which we're not going to do today, that's way on down there. But tomorrow, like then, I would look at because that's going to identify a trend. That's going to identify a trend. If you enter on this candle, which breaks this low, which is not that far out, you face a chance of being reversed. So you want to develop trend where the sellers have really defined their entry and to come on down. Yes, I'm still on. Can you say that again? New lows compared to yesterday's lows. All right, so here. Let me tell you something. I'll kind of give you an example. All right, where would I enter? All right, here we go. I want to try a start of a trend. All right, here we go. All right, look. Perfect example. Everyone's looking on my YouTube. I'll show you right here. So we've got the strong bull trend. This was back in December. Strong bull trend, and then we chop sideways right here. So what I would do, up, you've got the first red candle. This is where we are today. Second red candle, I would enter this candle at the break of this green candle. The last green candle low is where I would enter. So right here is where I would start entering swing. I'm not talking about day trades. I'm talking about longer time frame, like maybe 5 day to a week to 2 weeks, those type of plays. So right there, I would enter right there and let this ride. Now what I would do is I would set a stop, or I would exit. Obviously in options it's hard to tell where the stop would be at a particular underlying price. You could do some math with the stock options calculator and stuff like that, but I would stop out the position if we reclaim that level on the daily. So I would write it down flush, and I would hold that position until the prior lows are taken back out. So here we would come on back down, and then I would look at exiting, either taking profits off. Obviously, if I got this big of a win, I would start scaling out. But the entry point right here, when it took out that prior low, is when I would start entering for a swing position. And then if it crossed back up, it's when I would stop out of that position. You could either do a break-even stop or you could do a trailing stop. There's a whole bunch of ways that you could do that. Entries, talking exits are different than entries. But now what this allows you to do, for example, on any of these candles, if I would have took red candles here, swing position, I'd have been stopped or facing decay or losing position, whatever. Here, all this stuff. This one, you would have got an entry, but it would have came back up and stopped you out. But if you keep doing this, eventually you're going to capture this stuff. So. And the whole thing about swing positions is you're never going to be right all the time. Same thing like day trading. You just have to put yourself in a position to maximize your success. And this is the way to do that. Because look, if you would have done it here on this candle, you would have had and held that position, you would have had a colossal win. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, obviously, hindsight's 2020. I don't think anybody expected this because I didn't catch any of these trends. So. 2009, if you look in the description of this live stream, you'll see the Patreon link. So click on that and sign up. But I will say, this daily chart's looking interesting. This daily chart is looking interesting. That is correct, Brent. That is correct. So now we are in a sticky situation here. So that's the April 1st. Yeah. So wait till April 1st to sign up so you don't get double charged. But at the same time, we're doing a price change in April. So. All right, another red off the 8, playing the ADMA today. All right, so it's lunchtime for me. I'm going to hop off here, go grab some grub, and still maintaining the markets. We are downtrending just slightly right now. We have a little bit of support here at 44.70, and then there's nothing for a long way down if we break. So I'm sure they'll put on liquidity, though, as we come down, so be aware of that. But in terms of standing orders, that is it. So I hope y'all learned a little something. Let me know if you have any questions about the community or about the upcoming changes or about any kind of plays we took today, etc., etc. I will be on later this afternoon to wrap up the market. Post any questions you have in the applicable rooms at me if you need to, and I'll answer them as fast as possible. Thanks for hanging out with us. I will see you all later in the afternoon or bright and early on Friday for the YouTubers. I'm out.